but Summit just cannot handle it.
Last time around, for context, anyone tuning in for the first time, it was the Yuumi Sivir here, which is giving Aux old age. So we do get the Gnar as you like, so it means you don't have to go older than you're turning. The Yuumi takeaway as well. Better rotation here for FPX.
Yeah, and now BLG, you know, it's not definitely going to be a Sivir, but the Sivir's a likely thing, so they're probably just going to pick up the Lulu again. And they have some options, because they kind of know that FPX want to secure their AD on 3, especially if it's going to be that Sivir. You have to lock it in before it goes to the second ban phase. So it means FPX have things very telegraphed. So BLG have some choices. They could pick a jungler up on 3 and then ban away junglers and really pinch the pool. They could pick up a mid laner here, and then FPX don't get a chance to respond. Or if they want to respond, they're forced to sacrifice their AD pick, which I don't think they'll be willing to do. So BLG have a lot of choice. Or if they play it safe, they just pick a top laner into the Gnar, and it looks like they might end up going for that. Oh my, can you imagine if Bin solo kills Summit in the previous matchup and then we get the reverse and it happens again?
Oh my god,
that would be a heavy blow.
Yeah, that energy, right? Like, because Summit has been someone who we've really praised. Aux, I'm sorry, we do get the AD carry. We get the same bottom lane. I know you're a little bit happy because the Gnar actually came through, but, you know, we looked at LWX and Hung last time. The Sivir, Yuumi, as you said, hasn't done much today, let alone in the start of this series. So we'll have to revisit that one as FPX start banning away mid laners, but we know they need junglers. So do BLG, which is also an important fact.
It'd be so interesting if we got a run back, but it was just top laners switched. I actually feel like that's better for FPX. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the issue that came in that game 1 was the snowball. So maybe they have some plans how to mitigate that. But either way, things have got at least better so far. Now, Wukong comes out. The other ban for FPX last time was Rise, and BLG banned away Sylas. So we'll see if they repeat that in this one. And if that's going to be what they end up going for. There's still like the Viego that was picked up last time. The Xin Zhao. I don't see FPX. I say ban Xin Zhao. That was such a problem paired with the Lulu that you couldn't handle.
Now, especially with Jax as well. Imagine that jump in. For FPX thinking about it, Lissandra instead. Okay. Another form of engage. Remember that Icon has played this a couple of times now. They're split, but his champion pool doesn't really stop there. Like you mentioned, the Sylas that BLG can ban away as well. The Ari's already gone. The Azir. We're going down the pool. Lissandra, Talia. So many mid laners that Icon plays as well. So not only is Care getting pinched, but I feel like Icon's champion pool is going to have to be extended as well.
Yeah, and actually the Vi coming out as a ban. So Sylas is available. FPX could just take Sylas here if they wanted to. I feel like one of the reasons Sylas we've seen it maybe a little bit less is because Talia is such a threat to it, but still a really strong pick. And there's some decent ults that you can take use of. We'll see if they might just go for that Viego once more that they had last time. Obviously, Clid did not have a good game on it. And I feel like if you go for this, BLG will just take Xin Zhao again. So they decide not to. I think that's a good call.
Okay, takeaway then. At the very least for WeiWei. This is something I wouldn't put past him. WeiWei is that kind of jungler who we talked about earlier in the split, having such a diverse champion pool. I feel like I sound like a broken record because I say that about anyone in the LPL, honestly. But WeiWei has that vibe. Kha'Zix has not been played for a while. Against Xin Zhao, Aux. Let's just hold for a second. Is he going to do it? We get Sylas, but let's be real. The jungle's going to come through now. What do you think?
Oh, I feel like you probably just play safe and go for the Viego. We'll see. But something I want to mention is this Sylas pick. This is why I felt it was kind of weird that FPX didn't opt to pick it themselves, because look at the ult choices for the Sylas here, right? You have the Gnarl, which we've hit on so many times how fantastic that is, but also the Xin Zhao ult was pretty good, right? And then Trundle as well is a great pick in his Xin Zhao to shut him down. You know, you have good ult targets to give you the tankiness, but you can just duel him out in the early game. This is, you know, a really nice final 2 picks for BLG, I feel. And now, what is FPX going to take into the Sylas?
This would be risky. I mean, Care had a good game on the Akali, but taking Akali into Sylas mid, Aux, run me through. Whose comp do you want to start with?
Yeah, well, I feel like BLG, you know, WeiWei is going to be able to play really aggressive again, trade heavily into Clid. The top matchup, I'm interested to see how it played out because, you know, you can definitely punish the Gnar, and Bid is a fantastic Jax. I feel like both teams have strong scaling elements, both have strong skirmishing elements. But I was just gonna say, I feel like the Sylas pick, you know, Sylas Trundle are very hard to deal with in a mid jungle 2v2 in skirmishes because they have so much healing, and you have given fantastic ults over to Sylas, like really some of the best that he could hope for. So I really feel like if you don't shut this mid jungle down, BLG can just take over the game.
I mean, for BLG, we already had confidence in them after game number 1. Shutting mid-jungle down, well, mid-jungle was probably one of the cleanest parts as well of that first game. Icon and WeiWei on a mission, syncing up so nicely. So, confidence in BLG here yet again. FPX have decided that the Zeri wasn't worth banning. Aux, that was concern number 1. On FPX's side, though, let's look at some of the positives. Summit back on Gnar. Clid on the Zhao this time as a response. As you said, Sylas has good ultis to steal, but with all that jumping in, at the very least, there is some kind of disengage tool for Clid to keep people like Lwx on Sivir safe and give Care some time in fights too.
I just think as well the Trundle pillar can be such a powerful tool here. Into Sivir specifically, like the terrain, it's very difficult to position against it because if you get slammed behind you, you have to run around it with the slow as well. I also think the fact that they have Lulu, like if you're jumping in as an Akali, Polymorph is one of the most frustrating abilities in the entire game to go up against.
Oh, yeah.
We do see, importantly, something to mention, Ignite from Care, which I very much like. I said how there's so much healing in this mid-jungle. If you're playing the Akali, you should be playing it to like kind of crush Icon in the lane, taking that Ignite, trying to punish him at 6, looking for all-ins, and try to have that strength in your mid-jungle 2v2.
That's what we talked about. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. FPX versus BLG has taken a turn in an opposite direction. BLG were on a 2-loss streak before coming into today, but they've won out game number 1. And remember that this is the team that took a game off JDG. There was some hope there, but we went back to normal. For BLG, game 1 was as clean as you can get. Their best game of the split, I feel, by far. Coming into game 2, we want to see the same thing and see if BLG do have hope of making playoffs, because remember, they're 4-8. If they were to win all their series from here on, and they've got V5, they've got OMG, so it is a big ask, they could end on 8 series wins and still likely catch one of those last playoff positions. So for BLG, it's definitely not too late. It's cutting it fine, but hey, at least we got to see what we saw in game number 1. Now, Aux, once again, here we do the same thing. Lwx and Hung are just going to get engaged on, but at least this time, Doggo wasn't in the same position as Chris.
Yeah, I like though that Chris repositions because he knows they'll expect him to come from the river, and now going for these aggressive trades. Something, okay, you know, because Zeri's kit is so overloaded, people have to forget her passive is actually that when she damages shield, she gets a shield herself. So, you know, when Hung actually procs his passive, you do actually end up giving some value over the Zeri in return. But, you know, there's plenty to talk about the bot lane matchup. I also want to talk about this top lane matchup.
Please.
Bin wants to jump in, get those short trades. He has grasp, so he's trying to get that, you know, the extra health from it, but also the damage available, the burst damage, rather than something like Conquer at least.
Oh, hang on, level 2's hit first this time. Lwx flashes in, Ignite and first blood. Revenge is best served to a weird pixie.
Wow, I mean, just overzealous from the BLG bot lane. Clearly confident from how it went last game, but they didn't get the big chunk out early. Lwx managed to get the shove with the ricochet, and then they just punished Chris. Fantastic performance there. And it's a new game, and things have shaken up. Same matchup, but flipped on its head.
My God. I mean, Lwx, that must feel good. Anyone out there in solo queue knows losing the matchup, getting to the next game, and then absolutely flipping it on its head. That's a vote of confidence. Even backing here as WeiWei is spotted on a ward. Clid's taking blue buff, but as WeiWei comes in here, Clid looks like he wants to back away. Great pillar to start it off. WeiWei doesn't have the bottom lane up against him with Chomp. Hang on, solo kill flash. WeiWei, you absolute Chad, welcome back.
What a beast. And that's the thing that Trundle can do. Once you get on top of the Zhao, and there's a fantastic pillar to kind of trap him against the terrain, not much you can really do. We're going to replay the bot lane play. So yeah, Doggo and Chris was disrespectful, and that melee minion still so high HP. Chris tries to finish it off. Walks forward, very messy. They only hit level 2 right as he dies. And just a big miscalculation. But yeah, WeiWei with a fantastic play. This is why you pick the Trundle and even go in lethal tempo, which spikes super hard early, rather than the press the attack, getting that extended trade, getting the extra attack speed, and he just bonks down. And now No summoners for LWX apart from that heal. They're looking for a play, maybe.
And he's only level 2 as well. Orcs trying to clear out the wave. They're turning now, but LWX is going to die as he walks into trade pillar. Again, WeiWei just comes in and chomps. Doggo's going to survive as TP from Summon. He's about to go Mega Gnar, but Icon is the front line for now. Care running in too, but this is still an ultless Akali as Icon's taking so much free damage. Flash from Care, matched by Icon. They're jumping forward. 2-man stun from Summon. The house thrown. Everything from FPX still launched, but BLG survived. That dive was pristine.
So much invested to try and turn it around, but BLG, they get the positive play off the back of it, and yeah, LWX still level 2. Missed quite a bit there. I love how WeiWei just comes in, chomps the Sivir, and it's like, I'm out, I'm good, I did my job.
Gets the kill as well. Sheen picked up Orcs. A 2-0 start for WeiWei. We just complimented him all of last game, and we look at the replay here again. He just comes in for the simple pillar.
And LWX kind of makes a smart play here, trying to clear out the wave. But I actually think that was a mistake because he gets chunked out so heavily. If you just play in a tower, it lets the TPs come in. Summit could have turned it around. Because he went down so early, BLG could start running away before the TP even finished. And as a result, yes, they end up low, but no one goes down for BLG. I think, honestly, LWX has played that all.
Speaking of which, I mean, in the 2v2, Hung takes the damage. Ignite goes down, and yet again, the Yuumi showing some of the class with being able to absorb everything and not make much of a difference. So BLG, it keeps getting spicy in this bottom lane, Orcs, and I just never expected Doggo and Chris to go pound for pound with LWX and Hung.
Only in the LPL would we see, like, these two lanes, the scaling matchup, but they just refuse to chill and farm. Absolute aggro action non-stop in this one. And it has been a back and forth. Both teams pretty close in gold, though. But, you know, I feel like the fact WeiWei is so strong going to make it very difficult for Clid to ever really contest if there's the threat of the Trundle being there.
But go further than that, right? It might be even in gold, but look at the CS difference building up. 10 mid, 10 bot. In the top side, it is even for now. But looks like Bin is getting the wave pushed against him. Clid now on the bottom side, Orcs, and wants to get a response play. We look at the summoners that were burnt, but it was earlier for BLG. Doggo has his ghost available. Chris almost with double sums as they get the trade in. Clid doesn't have the flash to break the gap, and as the wave pushes up, it looks like BLG is still confident to move it forward.
Yeah, they're still trying to trade super aggro, and you see Chris trying to get the polymorph onto Hang and catch him out. Summit does ward, but he might be in trouble still.
Chomp is already used on the ward. Summit just gets pilled out, and the control will stay in place for the time being. Orcs, we're going to look at timers, though, because with WeiWei heading topside, nothing really available apart from that red buff, which he wants to go and steal. And he'll go straight towards it, while Clid has options towards mid.
Seeing a lot of back and forth in this top lane matchup.
Oh, that's all.
By Bin.
Summit about to go to Mega Gnar. Remember that Bin has flash, though, so waiting as he walks in, he out-flashes it. The ulti's not against the wall. Bin now has the leap onto Summit. You stand at Orcs in the reverse matchup. Bin is gone.
That is domination. Managing not only to beat him as a Gnar, but also takes him down as the Jax. Yes, Summit had his flash down for the bot lane play, but either way, that has to feel bad. And Bin proving why this guy is an MSI champion.
Let's look again. I mean, Bin just outplaying. This is his day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just he kind of bides his time waiting for his cooldowns. He has to kind of wait out the trade from Summit. Gets the heavy grasp trade there. But then he thinks, I can go for this against the Mega, flashes the stun, and then Summit knows he's in trouble. That's why he ults him away instead of into the wall. But Bin catches him, gets the leap strike, gets the kill. And, you know, this kind of makes me think back. I remember at Worlds years ago, Smeb against Hooney was riven into Hecarim. And both games, both matchups, first time it was, I can't remember who did which one first, but they played both sides of the matchup, and Smeb just crushed him on both. Reminds me of that. There's no worse feeling, especially when top lane is that 1v1 lane. You often see very isolated. To be dominated in both sides, it is painful.
Oh, I mean, Bin has had his number this series, and anyone tuning in for the first time might be like, oh, you know, NA top laner, lol, keck, you know, people laugh. I'm with it. The main thing is that Summit hasn't really been that much of a liability. Yes, there's been weaknesses in lane at times, but Summit coming onto the roster, even throughout the last series, has been great as we pause for now because Pillar comes down. Subjugate from WeiWei onto Clid. This Trundle absorbing pressure while he goes in deep without his team in position. Clid's going to get a shutdown while Lwx comes in, but Icon getting the trade kill. BLG a bit over-ambitious, but as Icon tries to play time, Care will get the kill. The first mistake we've seen in this series while camera pans back up topside. Bin and Summit keep juking it out, and you can tell that Bin wants it again. Ulti gets popped. He doesn't have flash available. Leap strike when, leap strike when, leap strike when. Summit gonna go Mega Gnar, and he's got flash available. Bin looking for the chase. Ignore the play bot side. Summit has to play it carefully.
This is so exciting to watch, honestly. Summit does level up, but I think that gives enough HP that Bin won't go for the all-in. He just wants to get like QW, that burst with the grasp as well could be so threatening. Summit about to hit Mega, but you're low. You don't win this.
True.
Throws the boulder, but backs away. But yeah, man, this top of the matchup has been so exciting, but we can kind of talk back about that fight we just saw in the jungle. WeiWei, over-aggressive, starts the fight before his teammate here. Now he has the backup from Crisp. It's a different story.
Doggo going in as well. Nice little counter engage from Clid, but not getting the range he needs. As onto this pickup in the jungle. It's over Gromp. It's over Blue. WeiWei wins out in the end, and Clid is just going to have to give this up. This will be a big jungle lead at this point. With blue buff stolen away, Clid just having to watch, and BLG still playing the map better, despite the play you were talking about before, Orcs, that cost them a couple of big kills. Yeah,
I love that WeiWei knows in this matchup he can still play aggressive. Even if he obviously did make that mistake, he's still so strong. FPX are contesting this, though. I don't think they're going to win this out.
The pillar, great. It gives them smite range. It gives them time as wild growth is used as well. The all-in. WeiWei flashes into his death, but still, look at Icon on top of Lwx. This Sivir is severely dead. As Care goes in for the ulti, it starts off the play, a response, but the range, Care doesn't flash in time on Doggo. The turnaround. 3-0-2 as Crisp is left by himself. Yuumi with the ultimate as well. Crisp running for his life, but I think Hung's got his number with a gleaming quill, and Care picking up kill number 4. It's Akali territory for this Phoenix.
And honestly, I thought the BLG would be able to take that one in the extended skirmish, but Care just goes unchecked, manages to get the cleanup, and completely pops off there. 4-0-2 now on this Akali, and that's all you can really ask for. Landing the Shuriken as well. And we'll see the replay here. So, I mean, one thing to mention, the Hextech Dragon does a lot of AoE damage, but WeiWei heals when they take it down. It seems like a good start to it, but a lot of traded kills, but Care is just disrespected. Bursts out Icon before he can get another rotation of spells, and then here, critically Care hitting the Shuriken onto Doggo. The burst that comes out. Beautiful.
Insane. Ends up being an extended triple kill. 4-0-2. Care has all the money of FPX at this point. And Orcs, we talk a lot about the Sivir lanes, but hey, Akali's going to be there. Hop used by Summit. He's going to go Mega Gnar, so maybe not much of a deal as I'm leaving it out to be. But Orcs, yeah, Care's big. We know Bin's big. This early game is just so much fun to watch between these two.
This has been a battle. This has been so much back and forth. And you know what it means to both of them. This series, I feel like if we get to the end of the split, they could be looking back at this one as the one that either made or broke their run to make it into playoffs.
Wow.
And Care, you know, one of the later additions to this roster, obviously Summit is more recent, but Care brought up in place of Clid, who's been a fantastic addition. Really showing his chops in this one, but looks like we're getting a lot of pressure coming the top side from BLG.
Oh, lightning
but
crash.
I think, yeah, good job to clear the wave. You could see, oh, Dive's coming in. I gotta stop talking.
And a counter-strike, the subjugate Summit running for his life. Bin is putting him in the trash can once again. This time with help Orcs, and yet while Bot is getting aggressed on, WeiWei has everything for Bin to succeed.
Yeah, Doggo and Chris made a great call because they very quickly cleared out the wave. But now, these are two of the best tower takers in the entire game. Lwx is close, but I think BLG actually still win. They're so fast at taking down towers.
Yep, Trundle can queue turrets again. Let's look topside. Lwx and Hung. No. First turret blood goes to BLG. So a small gold lead, if only 500. While it is traded, meanwhile, we look towards mid lane. Icon uses that perfect execution out while Care still has his own. And you know, we get blood for blood, we get turret for turret, 14 kills in almost 14 minutes, Orcs. And I think while we get a bit of a lull state, you need to tell me a bit more about the setup here because I feel like BLG have side lanes in order, but then also Care exists as a 4-0 Akali.
Yeah, I mean, Care can be problematic, but he doesn't have TP, so he's not as free to just go in the side lane. Something to mention is, like, the previous fights have been won by FPX, but BLG haven't included Bin. Bin is now going to be monster fed off the back of taking that tower, getting all the plays, getting all that first tower gold as well, was shared with WeiWei. But in return, you know, you have this strong Akali and Care going for the Night Harvester. A lot of burst damage available on the back of this. The procs can be really devastating.
Yep.
So BLG do need to be careful. And I think it's going to come down to damage control. How well they are at mitigating the pressure from these big fed melee champions. We'll see. It looks like Herald started by FPX, but BLG are wanting to contest. Icon has the Gnar ultimate available. I don't think you go for this, though. Look, you can see that Bin is pushing his tower on the bot side. Let him take that. He has the Sundra. He's going to hammer it down in no time with Demolish as well. I don't think you're too bothered about the Herald in this case.
Yeah, it just does it so quick, right? FPX are moving to mid in the meantime, though, and this Herald might even break in that outer turret. Look topside, Icon putting pressure on himself, and Doggo playing this carefully enough, question mark, as good dodge away, but needs Chris to help him out. On the hunt, popped by Lwx. That's 30 seconds before the dragon here, Aux, and that ultimate not being up is a movement speed tool that FPX
but it's not just the movement speed. Also, since they changed Sivir, you actually get a power buff with the ultimate. When it's available, any autos will lower the cooldowns, irregular ability. Oh my god, Bin's gonna do it again!
Yep. He is, but someone's gonna go Mega Gnar. There's a jungler nearby, but will he get there in time? Because WeiWei is bullying Clid as Summit goes nowhere. Clid is taking so much damage even with the Yuumi, but he's by himself. WeiWei drops down while a scattered fight's always gonna work well for this Akali. Doggo's running for his life, and Care once again picks up the blood. Bin tried, but Summit lives, so FPX get a win.
Oh, Bin's still looking. He has to be careful to get collapsed on, but yeah, WeiWei, I feel like he's kind of thinking he's still in this
God.
Oh my lord.
Cares to elaborate. He cares to elaborate. Do you think he does? Summit has already used the hop. We're so close, and double solo kill. Big Daddy Bin.
Taking just a dumpstering Summit in this one, absolutely annihilating him. Man, I mean, I said, right, if Bin won this matchup, that would be domination, having won both sides of this matchup. But it's not even just winning it, it's crushing him. Even though we're not seeing them in the top lane together, this is playing around the dragon. Bin just hunts him down. This doesn't even feel like it's about the game anymore. This feels personal.
It does. God, it does. Watch it again. I mean, it started because Bin just wanted to take the 1v1, and WeiWei's like, I'll do it too.
Yeah, I mean, WeiWei kind of feels like he's still playing that Fed Zhao in this one. Should not be going in alone. Him going down really means the rest of BLG falls apart. And this should be Dragon for FPX, but Bin is just refusing to let it happen. Finds that solo kill again. And off the back of that, BLG got the second Dragon. I mean, look at the goal difference between the top laners. 2,600 lead.
Wow.
But here's the thing, right? When Bin was on RNG, there were criticisms. There was sometimes he'd overtrade, he'd go over aggro and lane, and he could get punished. But Bin is also one of those top laners, like the Shy, where he can just carry to an insane level. The man who got a pentakill in the World Finals, and he is doing that again today. When things start to look difficult in this game, Bin is there to carry you through.
And I think now we can continue talking about, you know, further on those win cons, right? It's obviously a lot about Care. I want to come back to how BLG play their side lanes, because Bin is only going to get worse here, Aux. We know how well this scales, and we know how much it's going to be hard for Summit if it stays that way. Pause on that, because Care might be caught here as the perfect execution stolen. Wild Growth used on WeiWei. Chris trying to survive, but the shutdown goes over. Perfect timing, and BLG have themselves a nice pick to set up deeper vision in this top side.
And if they have forward vision of the Akali, the polymorph from Lulu is great at shutting it down. And this is why the fights can be so scrappy, so messy. It's really how the threats are dealt with. If they can get a polymorph on the Akali and burst her out, absolutely BLG can pull out ahead. But FPX is trying to mitigate, create space away from this Jax. But, you know, I'm not sure if Bin is like gonna super heavily push in the side lane, take over, but he will be a threat. He will be causing problems for Summit if he's not able to defend. And yeah, we see the replay here, and the big thing here is they see the Akali going to the brush. They know this is coming. They throw a ward down. The polymorph is instant. Care doesn't even get a chance to shroud, And although he throws the stopwatch down, they're ready to burst him. You even see the great timing from Icon. The stun comes out. Shroud wasn't even used.
Icon's been playing really well this series. And people who tune into LPL a lot will know that I am not an Icon apologist. The complete opposite is someone's going to apologize for Summit here. He's 0-3, and he's just been TP'd on, trying to buy some time as the rest of FPX come in. But a lot of leap strikes here as Doggo even comes over. A prop to Summit for surviving that long. But now 0-4, it is becoming very obvious that BLG are going to continue abusing this top laner.
What did Summit typing all chat is like an ask? Like, what are you doing to deserve this fate? I mean, BLG, it's not even just the fact Bin has it out for him now. The whole team coming in there. Now, he TP's top to defend the tower there. And you see, you know, that dive on a Summit was easy peasy. There's no way FPX go for a dive on a Bin. He is so bulky now with the Frozen Heart as well. And you got to remember, the AP damage from FPX is going to come mostly from Care. He is the assassin, right? And he really wants to be focusing his attention onto, you know, Doggo. Even Icon is a good target. Like, Bin, it's kind of hard for him to take down. Kind of hard for him to get up close to.
3,000 gold over Summit now.
Oh, Lord.
Cares and even 1,000 behind him.
Look at mid. Like, Icon's picked up a lot of farm. He's only about 300 gold down on this Akali, who's 5-1. That is starting to feel worrying right now, especially BLG. Not too far away from the Dragon. And I'm going to be real, sometimes Cloud can be very underwhelming. It's even getting a buff on the next patch. But in this game, with the Zeri, with the Jax, when these melee champions, the focus is to get on top of things like the Mini-Gnar, like the Sivir, it has quite a lot of value. A minute away, we see teams start setting up for it.
Third Dragon, it'll be here. It'll be Cloud Soul as Icon might have found himself a pick, but more so the Crescent Guard to steal away from Clid. And Aux, I wanted to say that we have a Negatron cloak up in that top side. Bin is going to get a magic resist item. And that, against Care, when we talk about him being the strongest, it's going to mitigate so much. And as BLG move down to this objective, FPX are trying to push their way in, with Care now picking an angle from bottom side river.
And that's something to take into account, is Bin doesn't have TP, so he needs to start making his way down. And also, BLG are kind of cautious here because their strongest member isn't around, right? They need him to be here before they can contest control, and that's why FPX are going so aggressive. But look, Bin has made his way down, and BLG is suddenly going to look a lot more confident off the back of this.
And look, Lwx is by himself. That turret in front of him, but the Yuumi's on top of Clid. As they go for the engage. I mean, Lwx is on the backside, but Icon, look at his positioning. Wiped himself a Crescent Guard, denies. Hung and Care going in as BLG disengage. And look, they're all trying to jump onto Bin, who's still alive. He gets the wild growth as Care tries to kill him, but you can't. The Grand Master at Arms lives on while Icon is buying time, space, and Lwx is coming up next. Bilibili Gaming have just evolved. We've waited a whole split, 8 weeks, to see this team absolutely curb stop a team like FPX.
Absolute decimation. Bin coming in huge there, but the whole team cleaning up. 5-0. We're gonna get the replay as they take Dragon and Baron. So initially, Icon goes in and buys a ton of time, stuns and then Crescent Guards. But FPX, they try and focus down Bin. He's just too tanky here, and they can't even take him out. Even manages to get the counter-strike off at the end, and then jumps away, and Care follows him. But the main thing with Care is your Shroud just nothing against the Zeri. She can still fire her Qs at you. Sure. And then at this point, you've lost your strongest member. Your Akali has gone down, and FPX just have nothing left.
Bin is just slapping him with his wallet right now. I mean, this is such a great game to watch BLG make their line in the sand. Because remember, folks, 8 wins in the LPL is usually where playoff cuts off. Like each split, last split, for example, FPX and RA were both 8-8. Those were the final spots to round out in week 10. And considering we're at week number 8, BLG have 4 series to go with this included. If they get a 2-0 here, BLG will bring FPX down to their level. And Aux, we forgot to say, if BLG win this series, RNG are going to be locked into playoffs with the middle of the pack and the main number now being 9 to secure.
Yeah, so a lot going to revolve potentially off the back of this one. Also, if BLG beat FPX, then WE will be eliminated from playoffs. So a lot of effects, not just on themselves, but I think something to remember is with this top performance is bear in mind, BLG will, their hardest opponent coming up is V5. feel like if Bin is on a warpath, he could definitely cause issues for Rich. And he is, we see WeiWei and Icon starting to cause issues here for Summit once again in the top lane. And this Gnar, strongest top lane of the patch, not feeling like it right now.
I mean, he's 0-5. Summit needs to be left alone. It's pure schoolyard bullying at this point as we look at Bin on the bottom left, jumping in under turret, and Care is very scared. As he runs back, he still has flash available, but note that Bin now, Orcs, has Force of Nature picked up. 3 items versus 1 and a bit as we look at top side. Clid's going to start the engage up here on the hunt, popped by Lwx. 4 members on top of WeiWei. Icon is abandoning him, sitting in brush saying, sorry, bro, can't do much.
Yeah, but look at the cost. Losing that tier 2 bot. Probably going to lose a tier 2 mid as well. I think the play is correct, though, right? When you're in this much of a hole, you have to just try and take someone out, stop the Baron push. But it will be very costly. BLG getting what they want. And as you said, the Force of Nature coming in. Force of Nature and this Frozen Heart, not only does Bin get tons of ability haste, but 2 of the most efficient items are reducing their damage type. So he is very hard to take down, very hard to kill. And we see Doggo reset and pick up the Infinity Edge. Feels like everyone on BLG is spiking right now.
Like, getting beyond that point, right? Like, we have had such a competitive game up until that last fight, but as you say, BLG, the item advantage being plain and clear. WeiWei is getting towards his 3rd item. We've got a BF sword now as 5,000 gold, just about 4,500 to be technical, between Bin and Summit. Bin is level 16. Summit is level 14, Orcs, and proof is in the pudding here with Bin, who has been having a really good split and has been carrying BLG in some of these games where otherwise it's just been clueless.
100%. And I'm so interested to see what FPX can do in this final fight. 8k deficit. Can they do anything? Can they really find an answer at it? I feel like Care is the strongest member to try and find it. But how can you deal with Bin? I just feel like he's too tanky. I don't think anyone really has the damage right now. And a minute away from the soul. Do you just give it up?
Well, with Bin in the top side, having himself the teleport as well, the threat's there. Level 17 now as Summit is...
He's 3 levels up, dude. He's 3 levels up. Like, I feel like Mega Gnar doesn't do anything. Bin will just solo you out.
He just walks back into lane, and Summit, again, has to try and defend for this topside turret. Look at Icon doing the same thing. Remember, Orcs, we haven't talked about much here. 50 CS up over Care. And as you said before, it was an early kill Akali, but the goal back about 10 minutes ago was even, or at least close to. Icon is matching item for item here, so he's had a pretty smooth game. He's actually just picked up Cosmic Drive.
Oh, and look, Bin, such a threat in the side lane. He's not even killing the tower yet. He's denying as many minions as possible. He's just doing everything he can to keep Summit in the bin. Oh,
FPX trying. Force flash out of WeiWei. That's good, but the TP coming in. Here comes one of the raid bosses in Icon. The other one is staying topside. So while they commit for the play mid, you look at top and you're like, well, turret has just been injured. BLG doing the same mid.
Oh, WeiWei might be caught out though.
Subjugate to buy time. FPX getting cut around. Look at the pathing from WeiWei. He survives long enough as Clid jumps back in, but Icon's here. Doggo kiting back as well. Icon jumping in, still alive. And here he is, the man of the hour. Flashes with a counter strike. Care's gonna die too. Bin takes names. And no prisoners here for the top laner of BLG. Summit running for his life, but hey, Doggo, that seal of the Quadra wasn't cool. But he needed some love too.
And now the dragon not needed, the soul not needed. BLG.
Oh my God.
From the brink of the position where playoffs may not even be an option. Going up against FPX, they get a very convincing 2-0.
This is BLG's time. Their last run is here. Welcome to playoffs to RNG. Goodbye, WE. This is the best series we have ever seen. I'm not sure if I'm going to say yeah, but it feels like one of the best this year from BLG. I don't know what they had for dinner before this series, but it was fulfilling.
Yeah, and that is so important for them. Such a boost of confidence, but it kind of felt like everything could be over on the back of this series if FPX had won it not only would they have dropped down to 4-9, but they also would have elevated FPX to 6 wins. There'd be 3 teams on 6 wins. It would just make things so hard for BLG, but they clutch it out. I feel like that has been, in a nutshell, he's a clutch player. We saw it in the finals in spring for RNG. We saw it in the finals of MSI for RNG. Bin is not the most consistent player, but when he pops off, oh, it is on another level. And the fact that he played both sides of the matchup, Gnar and the Jax, Jackson and Gnar, solo kills in both, absolute domination. And he says, yeah, to the MVP of the NALCS regular season, who?
God, I love that Summit even came into the LPL in such a big way. Then in week 8, Bin shows up, as you said, both sides of the matchup is just a big statement. But for BLG, this for them was a massive statement too. They've changed up the whole standings with this win. 5-8 tied right now with FPX. There's only 1 game difference at the moment between the two. But they now have the head-to-head if it ever comes to that. They're now getting up towards teams like TT who are 5-6. Our LPL playoffs, because of this one win, is going to be so much more crazy. And you know, RNG are now locked in. Excuse me. We have 4 teams locked into playoffs. 6 spots now being contested by, realistically, 8 different teams.
Oh, I feel like, you know, the top 4, it's always exciting. You know, you're jockeying for the double elimination spots in the top 2. We saw EDG knocked out in summer off. They lost their first series and then came back, won LPL summer 2021, won Worlds. But I feel like the real charm is making it into playoffs, the rest of these spots. And it looks like it's just evolving to be such a battle. And it comes down, like, I feel like anyone's Legends 7-5 don't look safe. You know, the fact that BLG won the series, FPX looked like they could just clean up, make it to playoffs, no longer look safe. And BLG, I feel like, I'm going to be real, Hysterics, I was counting them out. I just didn't think it was going to happen. Just when it feels like on the cusp of them being out the conversation, they have a series like this. Game 1, domination. Game 2, there was definitely some mess. There was definitely some aspects. WeiWei didn't have as good of a game in this one as Game 1. But Bin, man, he is not interested in anything Summer has to say. It just completely crushed him. I don't think we've seen this much of a schooling in quite a while. Especially 2 teams who are like right next to each other in the standings.
Look at him. I mean, 9% kill participation because he died all the time. He got absolutely dumpstered, and literally by Bin.
You know, I've seen something like this, but it was in a solo queue game. We all know how it goes, right? When your top laner just cannot stop getting bullied out. But yeah, I just can't give enough praise to Bin in this one. And I feel like the game could have gotten so much messier.